And a good morning, Quad Cities. It is Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. Welcome on into Ask Andrew Live. I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
And I'm weather anchor Peter Warner. It's the best 9 o'clock hour of the week.
That's right. And we also love this was week 2 of our expanded 8 a.m. newscast for GMQC.
Know. It's so good, too.
Yeah.
So much more fun. Oh, my God. The mullet stuff at the end there. I was dying. It was so good.
Oh, Devin and his puns. He is a man of many, many puns.
He is.
Yeah.
But he's good at them.
He could teach a master class, I
Probably
swear.
could, yeah.
He really could.
Really.
Yeah, so if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I mean, it's no wait time between the GMQC at 8 to right here at Ask Andrew Live at 9. It's a perfect cohesion, if you will, and perfect transition. And yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it. And we always have fun with you guys too, right here during our 9 o'clock streaming show. A reminder, it is the only weather streaming show in the Quad Cities.
It is.
And we are so proud of that.
For a full half hour,
Yep.
sometimes even longer if we get enough questions.
Exactly, especially on a busy weather day.
Oh, yeah.
Had a little bit of a busy start this morning, a little active.
I was going to say those winds kind of, I mean, we knew they were going to be right around 40, maybe just a little bit higher, but even more than that.
Yeah, it was insane to see the numbers just keep going up, and I'm looking at them thinking, oh my goodness, this is getting close to needing a wind advisory at times. Yeah, that was quite strong. So probably woke you up at times this morning. I know you said that you could hear it.
It woke me up a couple times.
Yeah,
So.
it was definitely an event. We had some snow as well. I'm going to show you some cool video from Rock Falls as the snow moved through there this morning. Of course, how we'll start this is we'll do our weather discussion first. We'll hop into our 2 questions we had this week, and then it's all about you watching us right now. We'll get to your questions as well. If you're new, welcome. We're happy to have you. If you're returning, welcome on back. If you're not sure where to send your question, we'll remind you. We'll put the phone number at the bottom of your screen, 309-304-0888.
309-304-0888.
Easy to remember. So easy to remember. So go ahead and send them right there. If you're watching on our simulcast on Facebook, you can send them into the chat.
Exactly.
And we'll get them either way. Looking forward to getting some good ones as we usually do each week. Let's start with what's going on right now, and that is an Arctic front blasting its way in. And by blasting, it is blasting.
I went to, when I was going to work out before coming in here today, I was trying to open my door in my car.
Oh, gosh.
And the wind gusts were, it was like you actually had to like pull on it, the door. It was that strong, the wind today.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really gusting at times. We've had some of these numbers trying to approach 50 miles an hour. It looks like that potential is quickly diminishing, which is good. So we may let our weather impact alert go a little bit earlier before noon. But yeah, it was certainly impactful earlier. And this is what the wind speeds look like right now. We're still seeing some of you go above the 40-mile-per-hour threshold, including there still in southeast Iowa.
Yeah.
So that tells me we still have a couple more of these wind gusts to go above the 40 range.
We do. And I think Clinton right now, look at that, 43.
Oh, yeah, they're at 43.
But it'll be interesting too. This flow is kind of northwest, you could say, and we still have a couple of pockets north of water. And will it continue? But that's something to watch as well.
Yeah, it's been strong at times, like Peter said. And the problem with the wind is not only does it make it feel colder, but you add some snow showers on top of it. And this was the result in Rock Falls this morning. It looked like a blizzard for a brief period of time. That is how heavy the snow was. Actually kind of came in 2 different waves, but it was enough to wet the pavement. It actually covered the sidewalks there, as you can see, and covered the grass too. Now, as of right now, that snow has ended, but there is still some wet pavement, and temperatures are falling below freezing at this hour. So we could see a little bit of a flash freeze scenario for those of you that saw the snow.
Yeah. I mean, and these temperatures, we were at what, you said 35, right around 4:30 this morning?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Well above freezing.
Drop, yeah.
And now, yeah, the cold air is now sneaking its way in. Where's the last of the snow showers? I'll track those for you here. We'll take you to the regional radar perspective, and I'll be able to show you where those are. Once I find my place in all of my little icons that I have here in my workspace, there's the live radar.
And I will say it was crazy. I was looking at models yesterday even, as of last night. There was like maybe an isolated flurry or 2 coming.
Yeah.
Just the switch up, the moisture that came in with this was a little bit surprising.
Even our in-house, was kind of grasping at trying to figure out what was going to happen this morning. Didn't have the wind as robust. It certainly didn't have the snow shower coverage as robust either. We missed the worst of it, though. Look at Chicago.
Oh, my goodness. It's horrible. So I actually have Braden, our former production lead here, on his way to Hartford right now.
That's right. Did he have to fly out of Chicago, I'm guessing?
They're driving.
Oh, they're driving.
And they started this morning. And I was helping them move out yesterday. I told them, you guys got to divert down to Indy because of what's going on there. There's winter storm warnings in Chicagoland area, I guess, what would they be? Northwest Indiana. Lake effect snow moving in. When you get that cold air moving over that warmer body of water, you're seeing a whole lot of activity out there right now.
Yeah, that's nuts how just heavy that band was. And it's a quick hitting band of heavy snow as well. I'll pull up the road conditions if you're curious about those impacts. Maybe you do need to travel to the east here this morning. This is likely going to remain an impact for at least a few more hours. And it looks like even some of our northernmost hometowns up in Carroll County there near Chadwick, Milledgeville, up into Lanark had some snow-covered roads briefly. Not surprised at US 20. It takes only a flurry to mess up US 20 into Rockford. I swear, it's that case every single time. But look at some of the northern suburbs. That's messy.
My goodness. Near Hanover, yeah. Keegan, Shields, Evanston area, a little bit, I guess, further south, Evanston, but wow.
Yeah, that's messy.
That's, oof.
So heads up, travel will take you that way. I would say the next 2-3 hours, that'll probably remain the case. But once we get closer to the noon hour, things will likely rapidly improve after that. But yeah, just downright impressive.
It is.
For a cold front.
For a cold front and lake effect snow too. I mean, I know it can come down heavy, but I was looking at having fun with the models yesterday. They're always so fun to look at, aren't they?
Oh, they are. They really are.
Some of this lake effect snow could potentially go as far south as Louisville, Kentucky.
That's impressive.
Isn't that impressive?
That is
shows
very
the
impressive.
Of the system picking itself up.
And the magnitude of the cold air, too, that's going to be coming in, driving some of that. When is our next snow chance? I will take you into that really quickly here, and that's going to be for tomorrow evening. It looks very similar to kind of like what we had this weekend. The only difference is we're not going to have a lot of warmth. This will be coming in with a colder type setting, so this will be that powdery, fluffier type snow. It does look like, unfortunately, it arrives around the evening commute, but I want you to pay attention to how fast it moves and how narrow this band is. So probably a dusting at this point.
Yeah.
You notice we haven't thrown a red box for tomorrow because we just don't see a lot of snow coming out of this to cause, to pile up on the road.
No, we don't. And I mean, if you look at the coloring there too, it's even like it's the very grayish almost.
Yeah.
And even the white part, you could say it's not the super bright white that, kind of looks like an LED light almost is the best way to put it. That's that heavier snowfall. Not seeing a lot of that. And winds tomorrow really shouldn't be too big of a concern. I think last I looked, maybe up to 20, 25 miles per hour. So really shouldn't see even too much in terms of visibility impacts from the blowing snow or when it's coming down as well.
Yeah, totally agree that will likely be the scenario that plays out. Once that gets out of here late tomorrow night, we'll have a couple of snow showers Friday morning. Notice how scattered and light those are. We'll have a few more snow showers getting into Friday afternoon. Those won't be very impactful, but in total and all, both events, you could see a dusting tomorrow, an additional dusting going into Friday.
Yeah, I think that heavier totals will be on our Illinois hometowns. So for the east you are, maybe you could get up to an inch, inch and a half, maybe. But again, it's not going to be super significant here. Treated roads should be just fine.
Yeah,
it's not like we're going to be seeing warmth that can kind of impact that.
Yeah, I agree. And I wish my snow probability graphic would work. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't.
This works with me too. If you open the graphic itself, all of a sudden it pops up.
Is it going to pop up?
It's going to pop up.
There it is.
Yep, this happened to me when we had that first major snow event. Every single time on air it wouldn't work. I'd go and click enter, pops up.
And now it pops up.
Yep.
Technology's finicky sometimes.
It is.
But this shows what Peter was talking about, how the further east you go with these two events, the one tomorrow and the one coming up on Friday, the more probability you have of having to do a little bit of shoveling or a little bit of brooming.
Yeah.
But it looks like even the 40%, unless you're in Princeton, is out of our region. So
yeah, that's shifted since last night. Yeah, wow. Clippers, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They're no fun.
They're not. They're tricky little buggers.
They are.
So that's what's coming up in the near term. I'll give you an update on the newer weather impact alert that we have for early next week. We were the first to issue this, by the way, yesterday before GMQC at 11. And this is going to be for Monday morning.
Yucky.
Some good agreement that we're going to be dealing with some nasty wind chills Monday
morning.
I
might not agree with it. Or at least the temperature's coming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
That's not too fun. We agree with what's coming, but we don't like it, let's say that.
We don't like it at all, no. It's going to be another reminder that we're in January and winter continues. So keep that in mind for Monday morning. The good thing about the timing of this, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which means the schools are not going to be in session. Most of them will not. So the adults, I'm sorry, as you go to work, you're really going to have to layer up.
Stinks.
While your kids are nice at home, tucked in their beds, probably sleeping in on that morning.
Yeah, but it's better than having to have the kids get school canceled.
Exactly. Then it's another day you got to make up in the summer, right?
Exactly.
Ugh, don't want that.
No.
So there's the trend getting into the weekend. Yeah, you see that big dip in temperatures. This one hangs around a little bit longer than the last couple we've seen.
It does.
lately.
This is probably going to stay through the end of the month.
Yeah.
Right about at or below freezing temperatures with the latest trends we've seen.
Yeah, it's going to be a cold end of the month, it looks like.
I thought we were going to spring after the last few days. I was like, this
So
is
did
nice.
I.
Here we go.
So did I. I thought we were done with
No.
this junk, but here we are.
Here
We're
we are.
still doing it.
It's
Still doing
January.
it.
We were lucky.
Yeah, we were very lucky. You never know. February can turn around. We've had 70s in February before, so
That's true. It's possible.
it can turn around. You never know what's going to happen.
No.
We're at 16, now 17, so we'll get the two questions really quick, and then I want to leave plenty of time for you at home to get
Yes.
your questions in. We had some really good stuff this week, and if you were watching the stream from the 8 a.m. stream where we did another recap of Ask Andrew, I left out a graphic on purpose, and I want to show it to you on this version that we're going to do right now. So the question was about the number of warnings we had issued from the National Weather Service last year. This is just talking about severe weather in terms of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. So this was the breakdown of that data in numerical form, showing that yes, we had quite a number more of severe thunderstorm warnings. And like Peter pointed out to me yesterday when he was looking at the data, this started early in the year. It was in March we kind of had this big burst.
That was that wind event. Remember, we were talking about, I think we were cut in on air for about 5 hours straight.
Yes.
4 or 5 hours straight. And we had that. I feel like we had a lot of significant events where you got many, like you piled up warnings very quickly over the summer. We had like 3-4 major events too. Because we had the flooding event, we had the derecho, didn't we? Yes, we did.
We did. Yep, we did.
So
Everything was widespread, it seemed. We didn't
Yes.
have like isolated instances of severe
No.
weather. It all came in at once and it was very, very widespread. So yeah, that's the number, up a little bit more than we would typically see. What about tornadoes? Same
that
thing.
was higher.
36, and the 10-year average of tornado warnings per year is 28. But what's interesting is you look at this next graphic, and kudos to Peter for putting this together. I'll let you explain
Okay.
what you did with this and what you're showing folks. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is the typical polygon, right? And whenever we see severe thunderstorm warnings, they issue the polygon just to let you know the areas that are going to be impacted. And many times they do follow county lines, as you can see there on that bottom part of Henry County. Sometimes they don't, though. And you can see this is a very large one. This is from that March 15th or March 14th wind event here throughout the area where we saw those 70, 80 mile per hour wind gusts. I think Burlington at one point had like an 86 that day.
Oh my goodness.
It was something crazy, if I remember off the top of
I
my
think
head.
you're right, yeah.
We had like a near 90 mile per hour wind gust with that, I swear. But this is just one polygon. As Andrew said, it was 131, right? Those warnings.
Yep.
What you're seeing here is all those yellow lines are each and every warning here throughout 2025. And I know that looks a little bit messy, but look at the darker areas of black. The darker that map is within our viewing area here shows where we saw the most warnings. And you can kind of see that pocket, one out in Knox County into Stark County there, and then two kind of right here near the metro and just north towards that, say, Highway 30 corridor. That's kind of where we saw the peak in terms of where we saw the most warnings this year. But what's fascinating about this is further to the north is where it kind of looks like we had the most severe thunderstorm warnings. But it's a little bit different with our tornadoes.
Yes, that's what surprised me.
That's what's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because you see the higher frequency of those were a lot of hail or wind events further to the north. But then when it goes to your tornadoes, it shifts south
Isn't
along
that
and
something?
south of Interstate 80.
That's
Which is
what
fascinating.
was really interesting. And it was, you pointed out, it was Henry County, Illinois.
Yeah.
And it also looks like maybe the eastern half of Rock Island County.
As I say, Rock Island County and even Scott County really is where we saw the density.
Mm-hmm.
Here near the metro or in the metro areas where we saw the highest density, and that's pretty rare too. So I know we saw our first EF2 plus tornado here in the metro. It was either since like 1980 or
We
something.
did. It had been a while.
It had been a while.
Yeah.
So it was an active tornado season. I know we had that day where it was considered a tornado outbreak too. It was on Easter, wasn't it?
It was.
We
Yep.
had the tornado Easter outbreak, and I remember you were looking around Geneseo for seeing any
For
damage
some of that
and stuff.
damage, yeah.
But it's fascinating to see the southerly track, almost you could say, throughout our viewing area or along I-80 for the tornadoes. Well, the higher frequency in general was right along maybe Clinton into portions of Carroll and Whiteside County.
Yeah. It certainly looks that way. And I'm kind of curious, have you tried, can we zoom into this?
We can.
Is this map zoomable?
And if you go into it, you can highlight different warnings and it'll show you It doesn't show the date, but
But it'll show kind of the,
the warning itself and the ranges that we saw.
ooh, don't want,
So if you open it up, 'cause
Oh,
it'll
you gotta
highlight
open
that
it,
region.
okay.
Yeah, so it should highlight each warning once we open it up. Let's see here. You can zoom in.
and then you can zoom on in.
Yes, and it'll show you each individual polygon once you click on it, I believe, once you go back to the scene and get out of camera. We're talking about all the stuff that you guys don't typically see here. But you should be able to highlight it when you click on it. Maybe it doesn't.
It's being finicky.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
So
I
yeah,
see
you
what
can
you mean.
highlight different warnings and you can kind of see where each one was and you can see the densities. I believe that larger one was Easter. That
This one here?
I believe, this one was Easter and the large one over the metro was Easter as well.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
And just to, I'm going to try and maybe collapse this one more. There we go. Just so you can see, because I wanted to zoom in a little bit tighter so you could see where those brighter kind of gray-white colors were. And yeah, it looks like right here, kind of in a sliver of northwest Henry County, and then another sliver, like you said, in Scott and Rock Island County.
Yeah, Scott and Rock
Right
Island
down
County.
there.
Yep, that's where we saw the EF2. Bluegrass. I don't think I know it was near Bluegrass where we saw that EF2. And it went into the metro. But I know we had a couple warnings out there. I think that it was one night, it was around 10 p.m., I think, in maybe late May, we had that warning where it's actually moving a north to south storm.
Yeah, that was
So
late.
we saw that warning really late there as well. But we kind of saw that pocket further off to the west here of the metro, which is interesting.
That is a very impressive. I like this graphic because I'm all about visuals.
Yes.
And when we can put something in context like this, it really makes it easier to understand who got the active weather last year and who really missed out. You have no tornado warnings for Carroll County, Joe Davis
Nope.
County. Looks like Stark County didn't have anything.
Stark didn't get anything.
Putnam didn't have anything.
And Knox had one sliver of a warning that was probably in partnership with our National Weather Service office.
Yep. With ILX, Lincoln,
ILX,
Lincoln
yes,
Weather
Lincoln,
Service
Central
Office.
Illinois.
Yeah, this is a really cool graphic. So if you want to dive more into this, I'm sure we can post this on the socials and everything
Yes.
else because I think it is a neat thing to look at.
It is. It's very
Fantastic
fascinating.
job
Well,
on
thank
this.
you.
You did a
Thank
good
you.
job. And we'll continue to kind of follow this a little bit more, maybe even this year, because I think it's going to be another busy year
Why is that?
by all of that. Should we show them really
Should we
quickly
show
what
'em
we're
why?
talking about?
Actually, what's funny is Tyler had a question about that, about Enzo stages.
So yeah, we can answer his question right now. All right, this is the last thing I wanted to cover before we got to your questions, and that is the ENSO outlook. What we're talking about are the pattern, the water temperature patterns out in the eastern Pacific. That's where we look for La Nina and El Nino. Well, NOAA just released the update on this for this month, and it shows what's going on now in the prediction for the months ahead. So what I'm showing you, probability of La Nina, probability of nothing, meaning no La Nina, no El Nino, and then probability of El Nino. So La Nina is in blue, nothing is in gray, and then El Nino is in red. So obviously we're in La Nina right now. No surprise.
Yes, no, we knew that.
It is a La Nina. But you look at what the probability of El Nino is going into the spring and the summer, this is a rapid climb.
increase.
I'd have to go back in the data, but I can't remember anything recently where we've gotten out of a La Nina so quickly.
I don't remember that. And the jump to El Nino so significantly too.
Mm-hmm.
Because these months at the bottom, those are months. That's December,
Yeah.
January, February, March. Then once you get April, May, June, just skyrockets.
Yeah, and it looks like by June, our probability is at least 50%.
Yeah.
And then beyond June, it skyrockets well above that.
And when we get these transitions, I feel like we usually get more active seasons, don't we?
That is correct. And it's especially true with La Nina. Anytime we transition out of a La Nina, we always have this issue with these big severe weather outbreaks. And the most recent example I can give you is 2024.
Oh, that's right.
It was a
Oh, boy.
gangbuster year.
Yeah, I remember that was the most tornadoes ever in Iowa.
Yep,
The most severe thunderstorm warnings, I think, ever in Iowa as well.
exactly. So that hopefully that answers your question. We are looking at a potentially very volatile spring severe weather season coming up just based on this factor alone. Now, of course, we're going to have to watch drought and some other things, but
That's very important because they're dealing with a lot of drought issues, especially further to our south and to our west,
yes,
which is where we need the moisture to come from for our
exactly.
storms. So I know Colorado and Utah are a mess right now.
Yeah.
in terms of their snowpack. They're really struggling out there.
They really need some moisture. So we'll see. Maybe we can turn that around, get some healthy spring rain over there at some point.
That'd be nice. And
would
that
be.
switch would be great for them as well.
Yeah, they'd appreciate it. I know that. Now we'll get to your questions.
Yes.
It is your time to shine. And if we need to spend a couple of minutes beyond 9:30, that's okay. We can do that.
That's what we're here for.
That's right.
We like to talk.
We're here for you.
We're really bad at this. We went 20 minutes just talking to ourselves.
I know. We had so much good data to show you, though.
It is so fun.
So much
It
good
is
data
so
to show
fun,
you.
Isn't it? Good morning, Linnell, as always. It's her brother's birthday on Sunday. Happy early birthday.
Oh, happy early birthday, Linnell's brother.
She wants to go to Savannah for Manny's Pizza. Should she be able to drive there?
Yeah, just watch out. You know, if the road looks wet, could be a little slick in spots, but other than that, it looks good.
I think you'll be fine. Just bundle up, 'cause it's going to be cold on Sunday,
Layer
too.
up,
It'll be
yes.
literally.
Oof.
Let's see. Marcus from Moline.
Good morning.
Hey, Marcus.
We saw him yesterday.
We did. He was right back here. That was crazy. What time of year are the wind gusts usually the strongest?
Strongest wind gusts. I'm glad
I think we have a
you
map of
asked.
this, don't we?
We do have. It's probably going to take me a minute to find it. Oh, look at that. It's right in the workspace.
Are you serious?
It's like
Oh,
I
that's
used
so
it.
easy.
Yes, it's right there.
Wow, that was impressive.
So when are the strongest winds? Actually coming up in the next few months.
Yeah.
It's March into April, strongest winds.
When you get the fall to winter and winter to spring, that's usually when you get your steepest temperature gradients. You get those big surges from the north, surges from the south,
Yep.
and the pressures. That's when you get a lot of those strong lows that develop with the temperature gradient helping out with that.
All about the temperatures. And boy, do we get swings in the spring. I think we get more
crazy.
violent swings in the spring than we do the fall.
Oh, 100%.
Hands down.
Yes. Yes, much more stable in the fall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Noah and Emma out in Walnut joke. Oh, we got a joke.
Hey.
Hey, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. What did the icy road say to the car?
Why are you so skittish? No.
Close. Want to go for a spin.
Want to go for a spin? Oh, that's cute.
That's good.
That is adorable.
And then the question is, why does thunder make noise?
Why does thunder make noise? Easy on that one. The reason you even have thunder to begin with is because you have lightning.
Lightning.
And lightning is extremely hot. It is something like, and I'm probably going to get this number wrong, isn't it like 10,000 times hotter than the surface of the sun?
Just about.
It's
it's
obscene
absurd.
number. Yeah.
It's absurd. It's like 5,000
Yeah.
5,000 Celsius or something crazy.
It's very, very hot. And so in order for the air around that to change when lightning strikes because of such a temperature difference, you get that crashing noise.
Yes.
That's just essentially due to the temperature difference between the air and the lightning bolt itself.
Just crazy.
You're burning up the air, essentially, is what you're doing.
Pretty much. The
Yeah.
molecules just don't know how to handle it. Mm-hmm. It's nuts.
Don't ever get struck by lightning.
No, that's never a good idea. Good morning from Rhinelander, Wisconsin. Our friend Scott out there.
Oh, hey.
Generally speaking, is the growing season getting longer in this part of the country or in our area?
The growing season? Absolutely.
Yep.
The fall season is extending itself longer, and the spring season is starting earlier. So we kind of showed you a graphic. This was probably a few months ago about how the seasons are compressing winter.
Yeah.
Winter's like caught in the middle, and it just keeps getting shrunk
It does.
as time goes on. So yeah, we are getting a longer growing season.
We are. That is for sure. Yeah, your Highway 20 statement, Linnell was a fan of that one.
See, I know, working in Rockford all those
Oh,
years,
yeah.
it don't take much, and 20's a mess.
Yes. Good morning, Tyler, as always. The current area going through a week El Nino through the winter. So we talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
He was just talking about El Nino versus La Nina and all that, and that was what we talked about there.
Mm-hmm.
Riley's got a joke.
Yes.
Why did the wind apply for a job?
Why did the wind apply for a job? Why did it?
Because it wants to blow people away.
Ah, that's good. I like that.
Good, right?
She does good work.
She does.
I love my notebook, by the way. I still got it behind me.
It's
Been using it like
fantastic.
crazy.
It is the best. Then her question, what's the strangest thing you've seen so far as a meteorologist?
The strangest thing that I have seen so
That's
far.
a great question.
I think for me, honestly, it's a dust devil.
Dust
For real.
devils.
Yeah,
I
dust
will
devil.
say Haboo's grown up.
Yeah.
Or those dust storms, those walls of dust storms in Arizona.
Have you ever driven
fascinating.
through one, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it crazy how dark it gets? That scares me.
We
I
would
see
play outside
videos.
in them because we're That's the only time we get rain. That's the only time we get rain in Arizona, really.
What with doesn't the dust get in your eyes though, and in your?
You're like 7, 8 years old, and
You're like, I
you're
don't
like,
care.
wait, there's wind exists, temperature changes exist. It's crazy. It's a shock to the system.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we used to kind of play outside of them a little bit, and right leading up to them, you get excited. Here you're like severe storms. It's a
Yeah.
very different, not that people don't get excited about severe storms here, but you know what I mean? You're like, everyone's take caution.
Yes.
Arizona, completely different story.
Oh my gosh.
They all get so excited. The place, it's like a party is thrown because there's rain coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
I I watch the videos and how it goes from daytime to nighttime, like
It shifts. And
quickly.
you drop from temperatures right around, say, 110 to about 70 degrees in a matter of 30 minutes. It's possible.
that's insane.
Just once the rain gets going, the wind changes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's fun.
Scary. I'd be scared to death.
It's fun. Linnell says you should do a extra Ask Andrew Live on Mondays now.
She wants me to work even more.
She does.
It's a common theme around here. No.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if I had the time and the resources, maybe if I got a personal assistant, we could make that happen.
That'd be
But
fun.
I will tell Linnell to stay tuned because I'm still trying to work on another project and getting that off the
gonna be
ground
fun.
that I think is a good complement to Ask Andrew Live. So stick with me, kind of working on some logistics behind the scenes.
That's all we got.
Are we all caught up?
We're all caught up.
Hey, that wasn't bad. We only went over by 3 minutes.
Bill and Coin Center.
Oh, hey.
I should probably read, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
When will the average daily highs start to go up? Actually, we just today entered our peak average lowest temperature of the year.
You're
I guess
right.
our coldest temperature of the year.
Yeah, it's interesting that the coldest time of the year doesn't happen on the shortest day of the year.
No.
Because the shortest day of the year, of course, is just before Christmas. It's like, what, December 21st?
19th or 20th or something.
Yeah. So the temperature, actually, the coldest temperature lags behind that by a few weeks. And yeah, now that we're in the second week of January, we're in that dip, and we're going to start climbing up again.
14th through the 22nd, we average a high of 31. I made a graphic on this. That's the only reason I know it so well.
Oh, hey, I was going to
used
say,
that on Sunday.
dang.
I used that on Sunday. But the 14th
got a good memory.
through the 22nd, we average 31 degrees as our high. After this, it's up from there.
We're going up. And I think the biggest climb, I believe, is in March. I think March is the month with the biggest
would
climb.
make sense.
Yeah. So we're
Close.
getting there.
Close.
We're getting there.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us this morning. As always, it's a great time. You guys have some amazing questions. Shout out to Peter Warner again for that amazing graphic. I think that was really cool what you did there. Easy visual. We're going to go ahead and head to our next thing that we got to get to here this morning, the morning news meeting. Thank you for joining us. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning for GMQC. I think, Peter, you've got the reins for the 11 today.
I'll take the 11 today.
Yep. So, Peter will see you at 11, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, hopefully a quieter morning.
Yes.
That's what we're expecting. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you later.